how's it going? I'm home.
Hey, yeah, I'm in here.
Oh, okay.
How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Nice. Where are you coming from?
I've just been out and about doing some shopping. I was here in the Mission, and then I went to Haight Street, just going to some secondhand stores.
Oh, okay.
One of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, cool.
So who are you just getting off the phone with?
Oh, I was speaking to my grandmother.
How's she doing?
Yeah, she's doing okay. She was actually feeling under the weather last week, but now she's all right.
Oh, did she just have a cold or something?
Yeah, she said that there was something going around. My aunt had it, and my niece had it, so she might have caught it from one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, speaking with my grandmother on the phone, sometimes I feel like I'm a little kid again. I get
Yeah, why
like
is that?
transported back to the time when we used to live close together, and and I was a kid. I mean, my grandparents, when I was growing up, they lived just like a stone's throw away from us. Maybe like, I don't know, 2 miles or something. So we used to see
Wow.
them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, when you're a kid, one of your favorite things is to see your grandparents.
Yeah.
It's like you get to escape the discipline of your parents for a little bit.
Right.
And, your grandparents, they'll always shower you with attention. And, my grandmother would always, make us some sweets. And she was just always like, always really happy to see us.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I never had the luxury of even being around one set of grandparents. My dad's parents died before I was born, so I never even met them. And then my mom's parents, we lived close to them, but not as close as you to your grandparents. I'd say it was like a 20 to 30-minute drive, and that was only until I was 8, because then we moved away from Michigan to Georgia, so then it would be seeing them once a year.
Yeah, I mean, my brothers and I were really fortunate to have both sets of grandparents around.
Yeah, you
Uh,
are.
and I mean, my father's parents moved down to Florida when we were like 8 years old, and that was a bummer for us at the time. But at least my mom's parents lived around us, until we were teenagers, and we moved to
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
But it's uncommon these days. I mean, the generations before us always had their family right near them.
Right.
I mean, I hear these stories from my grandmother. She says that her entire family lived in like on one block, and that wasn't uncommon. I mean, a lot of the times they would, the whole family would live in the same house. Usually people didn't leave until they got married, and even if they did leave and get married, they lived just down the block.
Well, speaking of the same block, that made me think of my brother, my younger brother, when he was in high school, dated this girl, and her whole family lived on the same street. And I could remember thinking how strange that was.
Yeah, I mean, now it is, but
Yeah.
back then it wasn't at all.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, when I was talking to my grandmother, as we do a lot of the times, I was reminiscing with her about when I was younger, and we not only did we live very close to my grandparents, we all went to the same church. So,
Wow.
every Sunday afternoon, we'd see them at church, and we'd sit near them, and then after church was over, I'd always like beg my parents to let us go over to my grandparents' house, and we'd go over there and eat dinner, and I'd watch baseball games with my grandfather, so that was always a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
It was just spending time with them.
Yeah.
We just had
Was
a
it
great time.
was it like a big Sunday dinner?
Oh yeah, and my grandmother would cook a huge meal, and my grandmother was an amazing cook. She'd always cook like some amazing Italian dinner, and we just loved going over there for that reason as well.
Oh, that's great.
Hi, this is Kristen Dodds.
And this is Joe Weiss, and we just wanted to let you know that this material is copyrighted in the year 2008 by Learn Real English, LLC. www.learnrealenglish.com